So in school today, we're focused on a thing called SAT, or Scholastic Aptitude Testing. We want to find out how good you are at reading, writing, arithmetic. Very important skills. And depending on how well you do with SAT, the next thing they focus on is professional aptitude testing, whether you should be a doctor, a lawyer, fire chief, secretary, or whatever. It's your professional training. But what school fails to focus on or train people on is a thing what I call financial intelligence. We never discuss the subject of money in schools. So what do I mean by financial intelligence? Well, if we gave $10,000 to 100 people, 80 of them, or 80%, would have nothing left at the end of a year. 16% with the same $10,000 might have $10,050, what you would get by putting it in a bank. And 4%, given that same $10,000, would have anywhere from $20,000 to $1 million or more. And that's what I mean by financial intelligence. So when we go to school, we learn to read these things, but we never learn to read these, financial statements or annual reports. We never learn financial literacy in school.
I founded a company called Prime Cable in 1979 with two other people. Today that company, if it were sold, would sell for about $1,600,000,000. I'm a graduate of the University of Texas. I got an MBA in finance. For the last 8 or 10 years I've been a turnaround specialist. So companies will call me and ask me to help them fix their problems. One of the unfortunate things about being a turnaround specialist is that sometimes there's some fat in the organization that has to get eliminated, and so in the last 3 years I have fired probably well over 200 people. Most people that I know haven't bothered or figured out a way to go learn the rules so that they will spend the time and understand how to go make money with money. And that's what cash flow is about. It's learning the rules of the game on how to make money with money. One of the great things about money and the rules of the game for money is that they can be taught and they can be learned. One of the things that is very important to me is that my children especially understand the rules of the game of money so that they will never be one of the unfortunate statistics who gets fired in a corporate downsizing by somebody just like me.
When I studied accounting in school, it was possibly the single most boring subject I ever studied. So I had to create a system that was easy enough for me to understand. So these are the basic forms necessary for financial intelligence. One is called an income statement because it has an income and expense, also called a profit and loss statement. There is also a balance sheet, and the balance sheet has assets and liabilities. And these are the very basics for financial literacy or financial intelligence. I soon realized the main cause of financial struggle was due to confusion between the definitions of an asset and a liability. I looked in the dictionary at the definitions of assets or liability, and I got very confused by the dictionary's definition, so I made up my own. My definition of an asset is something that puts money in my pocket, and my definition of a liability is something that takes money out of my pocket. So what caused my mom and dad to struggle financially is my dad, because his banker and his accountant and his real estate agent told him a house is an asset. By this definition, it's actually a liability. He also counted his car as an asset. Yet by this definition, his car was not an asset, it was really a liability. And if these definitions are still too confusing, I simplified it even further. The new definitions are, if I stop working, assets will feed me, and a liability will eat me. And I hope that's simple enough.